Is that a laundry? Is that a washing machine on stage? That can't be a washing machine. Why is washing machines on stage? I'm confused. What's good, Greatness Gang? Welcome back to another reaction. And today I have another Rush reaction, of course. Now, this one was highly recommended from you all, Greatness Gang, and the name of it is YYZ. I don't know what that stands for, so if you know, let me know in the comments. So we're going to be doing YYZ live in Rio. But before we get into that, I wanted to get into an interview clip that I came across from Lifeson, because I wanted to shed some light on him and get to know him a little better, because something stood out to me, and someone also mentioned it in the comments as well. I realized how much of a great guitarist he is, and someone in the comments said something along the lines of, yeah, it's kind of crazy being one of the best guitarists in the world, but you kind of get overshadowed when you have an awesome drummer like Neil Peart playing alongside of you. So we're gonna let him speak a little bit before we get into the video. So thank you all for recommending this to me.
You know, over the years, because I've had a studio at home forever, when we had time off, I always wrote stuff. I still have, I don't know how much material, hours of stuff that I would develop, you know, maybe with drum samples, and sometimes I got friends to come in and play on some of this. And I think I spoke to you about it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because Steve Howe was doing this. He was releasing some of his demos.
Right.
We were talking about that, and it occurred to me that this would be a great avenue for me, a way of releasing some of this kind of cool music that was from the time, not super produced, not, you know, big record kind of thing, but really cool little vignettes, musical vignettes, of where I was at that time. So I still have all that stuff, still talk about doing it. I've done some writing. After we finished the last tour in 2015, I couldn't sit still, so I started just writing on my own and doing some stuff. Getty was working on his book. We talked about getting together and doing some stuff together, but it got very, very busy for him, even after he finished writing the book, taking it on the road. And so he never got a chance to sit down and start working or just having some fun together. We still talk about it, and I'm sure we will. Of course, now with the pandemic, it's kind of wrecked things for a bit, but we're both eager to get back together and kind of get back into that thing that we've done since we were, you know, 14 years old, that we love to do, and we work really, really well together.
I didn't know they was together since they was 14. 14, and it's 2023. That is a very long time.
So we'll see what happens with that, but I don't know. I go back and forth. I'm kind of a lazy person, and the prospect of doing a record after doing Victor and spending a year on it, and knowing what it took.
He calls himself a lazy person, and he's been making albums for that long. He's in that skill level he has. That is definitely not a lazy person.
I don't know if I'm in such a big hurry to go through that sort of thing again. The advantage of working on my own, in my own place, is that I can work whenever I want to, and it takes the pressure off a big release. You know, those days are sort of over anyways. I would just love to share some of my music if anyone's interested in hearing it, you know, at some point in the future.
At the time, you had said that you know, you'd love to put something together and get this music on the road. Looking forward, I mean, we're in this global nightmare, you know, but we all hope, all touring musicians, that we're gonna beat this. Do you envision that maybe, that you, even a short tour where you can do this material and then some brand new stuff altogether? Is there a thought of that?
Honestly, I think it's very unlikely.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's going to get back on the road for a while yet, probably for another year. It's great that we have the vaccines, and although it's been a slow beginning, it'll ramp up, but it's still going to be, you're talking about 350 million people in America, and I know in this country, we're in single digit progress with vaccines. Like I said, it'll get better, but it's going to be a while yet, and I think we're going to be in the same state for another year.
Yeah. So this interview was obviously before 2023. So if you have an update on what he's currently doing in 2023, let me know down in the comments below.
And then things, I guess, will turn around, and we'll get back into touring and live concerts and all of that stuff. But I gotta say that I'll be 68 if that happens in a year from now. And I don't know, at this age, I don't really have an interest in doing it. We toured for 40 years. I lived in hotels for 40 years. I was away from the people that I loved, and that's all part of it, and I don't regret it. And it was great, and that's the price you pay. I hardly saw my dad when I was growing up. He had 3 jobs because he had to pay mortgages and look after ourselves, and wanted to, get a leg up. So he worked like a maniac. So we all make that sacrifice, I think, in whatever we love and our passion. But after spending 40 years of doing that, honestly, I can't see myself sitting in a hotel room, with the remote in my hand going through the channels, just because I have to wait for sound check, or because I don't feel like going out because I don't really know what to do in town and all of that stuff. That's kind of out of my life now. And the fact that we've been off the road for over 5 years, I don't really miss it. I love playing. I do a couple of gigs here and there locally, and it's always a treat to get up and play in front of an audience. But I can't say that I have this, gnawing desire to get out and do it. I did it. 40 years is a long time to be in a band and touring the way we did. Very, very few bands that have done that.
Right.
You guys did the miles, and you really wrote the book on a lot of that. Well, hopefully, if there's 1 or 2 special shows, we will travel. Just if you just did something in Toronto, but that's again very
Never say never, right? It's you never know. And I think Geddy, I don't know if Geddy feels quite the same way that I do. I think he'd be up for doing something live, in whatever form that is. But we haven't really gotten to that point in a conversation. So
yeah, it's like crazy. Like with music, it's like, do artists really ever retire? I said never say never. It seems like none of these guys are never really done with music. So I hope Alex Lifeson is doing well in 2023. Seems like a pretty humble guy when he doesn't have to be, knowing all the legendary things he's done for 40 plus years. So we're going to get into Rush YYZ Live Rio. Wait a minute, that crowd is going crazy. That is a lot of people going crazy. How many people is that? That is a lot of people going crazy at one time. This must have been the song they was waiting for. Is that a laundry? Is that a washing machine on stage? That can't be a washing machine. Why is washing machines on stage? I'm confused. So far right now, what Getty's doing on the bass is pulling in most of my attention. Wow. He just jump on the keyboard out of nowhere. And there's Alex with the solo. They slowed it down and they got right back into it. Rush, YYZ, Live, Rio. My takeaways from that. These guys are like a three-headed monster. And it's like, who, like, do you feel like, was there underlying competition between these guys? Because for me, I feel as though it wasn't, in order to have three powerhouses like that being able to work together. I feel as though they had to put their egos aside, because it's like all three of them are very skilled at what they do. And this song in particular, the fact that it wasn't no lyrics to this song and the crowd was still going crazy just over an instrumental says a lot. But I felt like Getty was the driving force on that song with the bass line. With this song and with Rush in general, every time I listen to them, it's like so much is going on. But to them, it's so simple and it works. And they really have a either you understand it or you don't attitude. So I really like this one a lot. I see why you all recommended this. I'm pretty sure if you was there to experience that in person, it was a crazy, memorable experience for all the people there. But thank you for recommending this. Let me know what you want to hear next from Rush. Love you guys.